Well, hello, 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 and welcome. We are live for 1 hour of coding alongside Googlers. Where are the Googlers, you ask? They're hiding backstage. We'll bring those guys out in just a second. There's also one other Googler missing. If you've been part of our sessions before, I'm all by myself here. I'll tell you why that is in just a moment too. But we are coding with CS First alongside Googlers. We're going to have some fun. No sign-in required. Easy peasy. But before we get going with anything, always start every one of our lessons with a land acknowledgement. And I'm honored today to acknowledge I am presenting in the territorial lands of the Acacho in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. So I am in Northwest Territories today. I'm usually in Calgary, which is Treaty 7, but I was able to learn a lot more about the people here in and around Yellowknife by going to native-land.ca. And so we had a beautiful land acknowledgement this morning before our session where I got to learn more and appreciate the Acacho people here in Yellowknife. And I hope you all take the time to think about those lands that you're on. And I think a lot of you are joining us from Manitoba. So quite likely the Métis are there, other nations. I have to go to nativeland.ca and learn more. But how lucky are we to be able to be on these lands? So I am Michelle Armstrong. I am with the Cobblestone Collective. Usually I am in Calgary, but today, like I said, I'm up in Yellowknife. We are working alongside Google Canada once again. We are a PD partner with them. We are so thankful to work alongside them and can't wait to get coding with all of you. Well, if you are brand new here, so teachers, if this is the first time you have joined one of our lessons, we're coming to you live via YouTube, and you can pause us at any point. We get kind of excited with things. And so if we're going too fast and you need to get caught up, you can just pause, rewind. The replay will be here afterwards as well. And students, you can communicate with us just like Daniel is already doing. Daniel knows that there's a form where you can speak to us through that Google form. So students, right now, here's your very first job. Open up a new tab. Type in the cc.page/csfirst. Let us know what grade are you in and where are you joining us from. We want to hear if you are from Manitoba. We want to hear if you've joined from outside Manitoba. We want to hear where you're from. So let us know in the form, what's your name and where are you joining from. We have Dennis is here from the BITE conference in Portage la Prairie. Awesome. Anyone joining from BITE, thank you guys all for being here. We'll get back to some more shout outs in a moment. But one person that's missing today is Sandy Curry. So Sandy Curry, STEM Computer Science Outreach Program Manager at Google Canada, is the reason we can all be here together and at no cost to you teachers. Sandy is away on a much, much needed vacation. Hopefully she's going to watch this a little bit later and learn more about Manitoba, but we thank you, Sandy. We miss you and excited to see you when you're back. Al is here in grade 7 in Manitoba. Lily is here in grade 6. Who else is here, students? Let us know in that form. And it's the cc.page/csfirst. So we're going to start things off. We're going to meet some Googlers right away. We're going to get coding. But then students, you have a chance to ask Googlers questions. We're going to have a Q&A period at the end. So get your questions into the form as well, and we'll ask those Googlers later. Okay, lots of students are here. Winter is here. Thorin, Liam, Janica, Mikhail, Kendra, Mackenzie, Kyla, Ella, Ethan, whoa, Cody, Taylor, Taja, Sandy, Drayson, Isabella, Cora is in grade 5. Janica is grade 8. Matthew, Hannah, Mac, Venice, Connor, Zach, Aubrey. We have so many students here. And by the looks of it, you're all in Manitoba. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's get this party started. We have our Googlers here with us. We're going to bring them on stage to give a wave. That is Fabrizio, and it's Laura, and it's Seth. They're going to tell you more all about them in just a second. But Toogler. Why do we call them Tooglers? Well, first of all, if you work at Google, you're a Googler. If you're a Canadian Googler, you're a Canoogler. If you're new to Google, you're a Noogler. And if you're a Google that teaches, you're a Toogler. These guys are all Tooglers. They are here to teach all of you, and they're volunteering their time. They are full-time computer programmers in their day jobs, and they are sneaking away to hang out with you guys. So we're excited to have them here. I think that's enough talking from me. I think we're going to kick it over to you, Laura. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laura. I am super excited to be here. As you can see, I grew up and currently live in Winnipeg, so it's super exciting to be helping and teaching students in Manitoba how to code. I work remotely for Google, so I'm able to work or live in Manitoba, even though there's no office here, but I'm still able to work for Google, which is a really cool opportunity. I went to the University of Manitoba right here in Winnipeg. I got my computer engineering degree. And I actually interned 3 times at Google throughout university. So I got to go live in California for a summer, which was pretty cool. I joined Google full-time about 2 years ago, and I work on a product called Firebase. So it's essentially a mobile app development platform. So if any of you now or in the future were interested in building an app for your own interest, for a project, for a class, for work, anything like that, you can kind of use Firebase to help you get started. And outside of work, I love just spending time outside, kind of like working out, exercising, playing sports, anything where I'm moving and being active. I love doing it. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here with all of you.
Excited to have you here as well. Manitoba represents. We have so much Manitoba in the form from our students. Laura, I don't know where Neepawa is, but I'm assuming you do. We have so many students from Neepawa. Hello to all of you there. We've got Winnipegosis is here as well. Students, we're going to be asking you some questions throughout. So if you're looking for any shout outs, you'll have a chance when you answer our questions as well. Remember that Q&A I told you about? Do you have any questions for Laura, a Googler from Winnipeg? If so, get those into the form right away, and we'll get those to at the end, near the end of the broadcast, we'll be able to answer those. All right. Well, Fabrizio, not from Manitoba, but from somewhere also very cool. Tell us a bit about you, Fabrizio.
Good afternoon or morning. I think it's afternoon, right? Sorry about the, yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fabrizio. I'm a Googler since almost 2 years now. As you can guess or not with my accent, I'm definitely not fluent in English. I'm a French speaker, but not from Quebec, even if I live in Montreal. I lived in Brussels, born and based Brussels, Belgium, Europe. I'm living in Montreal since 12 years now. I'm passionate about computer. I'm kind of a geek on my personal time. I like to play with many things. I like to open things, and sometimes I'm not able to close them anymore like they used to be open. So that's another thing. Before coming to Google, I've been working with Microsoft and Amazon. And I moved in Canada in 2011, almost 12 years now. And unfortunately, I've never been to Manitoba yet. But maybe after this session, I would be happy to visit you guys anytime soon. So nice to meet you. Even if I cannot see you and you can see me, I'm just happy to present today.
Oh, that's great. And we are happy to have you here as well. Students, questions for Fabrizio. You went through that a little bit fast. Did you hear that? Worked at Microsoft and Amazon, grew up in Europe. I have all sorts of questions. Put those questions in the forum, students, if you have them. And last but certainly not least, we have Seth back again. Hello, Seth.
Hi, everybody. I'm Seth. I actually grew up in Florida, out of all places, and enjoyed computers as well as math. I actually liked working with hardware before I came to Google, and I now work on making it easy and secure for people to build code very fast for computers. I also enjoy doing plenty of other things that involve Minecraft, as you can see here in the picture, cutting random paths through a forest in my backyard, and just having fun with my kids.
Very cool. Oh, I bet some ears perked up when you said Minecraft and how amazing we can play Minecraft on Chromebooks now. I'm a huge fan as well. Okay, students, we see all sorts of questions coming in, which is fabulous. Keep those coming. We're going to get to those a little bit later, but we're going to just explore a little bit about computer science first, and then we're going to dive into coding. So, Seth, I believe this is you.
Indeed. So everyone, feel free to post in the chat your thoughts on some of these questions, but I just want you to think about this for a second. Have any of you ever sent a message to a friend or received a message? I see. I'm going to ask a few more questions, but please put them in the chat. Also answer, have you ever played a video game? Watched somebody play a video game? And the last one's a bit maybe harder. Have any of you ever bought something online? Or maybe your parents bought you something online that you really wanted for Christmas or a birthday or something like that? Okay, well, so I'm seeing people say yes, all of them. Yes, yes, yes. I love that answer. It's just take them all out at once. These are all examples of basically us being consumers of technology. So we don't have time to make all these different things, games, apps on our phone or tablet, things like this. We want to use what other people have made and get our job done, or get something, ordered online or whatever we want to do. Maybe just have some fun, play a game. But there will come a time when you'll realize there's not the game out there that you really want to play. You have a neat idea for something, or maybe there's an app that doesn't quite do what you want. And it's at this moment that you can move over to becoming a creator of technology. You have an idea and you say, what if I could do that? And programming, what we're going to be doing a little bit today, is what gives you the ability to take that idea and actually make it reality. So with that, I'll pass over, I believe, to Laura for the next piece.
Yeah. So, Seth is talking about creators of technology. And so here at Google, we are all creators of technology. So I'd like all of you, if you could, throw in the form how many Googlers you think there are in the world. As it says here, there's a lot of Googlers creating and using code globally. We have so many different products that there's so many people working on all of them. So
while we wait for those responses, Laura, got to give thanks to Madeline and Johan and Keith and Maximus and Ivy and Rochelle, Alex, Charles, Conway, all of you that answered the last question. We always try to give as many shout outs as we can. So as you're starting to answer this question, I think Laura's going to give a few more shout outs.
Yep. So we have Dre guessing 1 billion. We have, I don't even know how many zeros that is. 330 million, I think, from Dryston. We have Faith, we have Dawson, we have Max, we have guesses of 1 million, 2 million, 43,700, very specific. All great guesses. Yeah. So we have over 100,000 Googlers in the world. We have Google offices all over the world. We have them in Europe, Asia, all over. And yeah, 100,000, that's a lot of people. And so how many Google offices are there to house all these 100,000 people? And keep in mind, for example, I work remotely, so I don't work in a Google office. So we do have a number of Googlers who don't kind of correspond to an office. But let's see, we have Cameron, Eliza, Ivy. Thank you for all your guesses. We have Thomas, Kyla. Awesome. Let's see. Okay, someone guessed 50. We have Sol. We have Rochelle. We have 3,000. Okay, awesome. So we have over 950, or sorry, not over, exactly 954 Google offices in the world. That's pretty crazy. That's almost 1,000 offices spread out throughout the world. And that just shows how much power it takes to run things like Google and all the tons of products we have. So now I'm going to throw it to Fabrizio, bring it a bit more local.
Hello, nice to meet you all again. So when I made my research about Manitoba and Winnipeg, I realized there was a lot of things I didn't know about. So I guess that when we talk about Google, most of the time people use Google search, but also Google Map when you're looking at something. For instance, if some people are looking from a restaurant, for instance, so I took, maybe some of you people know this one. So I just type a restaurant in Winnipeg. So as usual, you find a restaurant, you click on it, you have all the information about this restaurant. You can make you can share information, you can see your address. But the nice thing is that you can also place an order. A lot of people know Uber Eats or maybe some others like DoorDash, but Skip the Dishes has a good relationship with Google, and Skip the Dish seems to be headquarters in Manitoba, Winnipeg. So that means that every time that you have a need to order something and you click on place an order, it's a Manitoba-based company who's gonna deliver the food at your home. And also, an interesting fact about this is when the delivery guy is using the person working at Skip the Dishes and he needs to find your way, he's going to use Google Street View. And the fun fact is, as soon as you arrive in front of your home, for instance, he's going to get on his phone a picture of the street view to be sure that it is exact good, the right door and the right place to deliver the foods. And I think it's on the next slide, Michelle. You just click for the last one, yes. And it shows a picture on the street when you arrive at the house. So Google and Skip the Dish are friends, and Skip the Dish could not do the work without using the Google Maps Street View. But another fun fact as well is the video game studio. Lots of people, including me, and I'm really sorry about this, believed that the video game was basically in Montreal because of all the big names and the AI. But now there is a lot of video game industry in Manitoba and in Winnipeg. For instance, there is a lot of names here, as you can see. And one of the big names that probably a lot of people know is Ubisoft. And even if Ubisoft is from France, there is a Ubisoft Winnipeg. And in 2019, they've installed a new office in Winnipeg. And they decided in the next, I would say, 7 years, they're going to grow from 100 employees to 300 employees. So between you and I, if you want to find a job in 7 years, which is good, you're depending on your grade, age, in 7 years from now, you're going to have Ubisoft hiring 200 more people in Manitoba. And there is also what we call the Winnipeg Game Collective. It's a game development community for programmers, designers, artists, and musicians that are related and based in Winnipeg, Manitoba, including students, indie development, industry professionals, and everyone in between. So again, I think the future looks good for you based in Winnipeg, if you like music, if you like video games, if you like the technology in general.
And how cool that these students are getting a jump start on coding. Some of them, it looks like as young as grade 5. So you're going to hopefully have the skills that if you do want to move into that video game industry, you will have extra skills for that. All right, you guys, we're going to get going and doing some coding. So students out there, you're going to be coding alongside with me. And guess what? These Tooglers are also going to code alongside all of us. We're going to see what we come up with at the end. But I'm going to walk you through where we're going, what we're going to do. Have no fear, teachers. If you need to pause at the end, you'll be able to pause if we don't get through it all at the same time. But hopefully, we're going to all get through it easy peasy. So students, the first thing you're going to do, and I'm even going to move this full screen just so you can see everything. We're going to be giving you a magical link. It's going to take you to this page on CS First where we are going to learn how to animate our name. There are all sorts of videos to teach us exactly what we need to do. I'm going to be walking you through step by step. So if you want, you can either watch the videos that are in CS First or just follow me. Easy peasy, whichever works best for you. When we get to that page, we are going to see a starter project. Hooray! CS First gives us a blank project we can start with. We're going to click Don't Sign In because we're going to make it nice and easy today. We'll show you how to save at the end. But then once you get there, you are going to animate your name or animate any word for that matter. I'm going to show you how to do a few things. And once you get there, stop there because I'm going to walk you through it. And you let us know in the form once you get that starter project going. Okay, there is your magic link, g.co/csfirst/name. I'm going to walk through these steps one more time with you. So teachers, you've still got a chance to get all your students organized. But thing one, go to g.co/csfirst/name. Find that starter project. Then let us know in the form when you're ready. I wonder who's going to be first. But we're going to switch over screens. And I'm going to walk through that one more time with you. So there's the link on the screen, g.co/csfirst/name. That should take you to this page here where we have Olga. Olga tells us all sorts of great things on how to code and why we code. And then if we scroll down, there's the videos that are going to tell you how to animate that name. If you want to change the color, you can watch that video. If you want to make it grow and shrink, you can watch that video, and so on and so on. Our Tooglers, we're going to see what they do. Some of them might go crazy and add music. Who knows? Maybe some of our Tooglers are just going to follow me. Whichever way, it all is going to be great. We want to start on the starter project no matter what. And then, do you remember? We want to continue without signing in. All right, well, we have Shayla. You are ready. Alex is ready. Conway is ready. Ooh, Carson, all caps. We are ready. Brody's ready. Eliza's ready. Dasan is ready. We've got someone saying, please don't start. Please don't start. That's okay. I'm not going to start right away. I'm going to put those instructions back on the screen for you. And I'm going to bring back our Tooglers. I got to check in with our Tooglers and see if they are ready. Poor Seth, your face, we can't see you. Let's see if we can get rid of that banner. Awesome. There you are. All right. Thumbs up, Fabrizio. You ready? Laura, you ready? Seth, you ready? Okay, I'm going to animate a name. I'm going to animate Manitoba. Sound good?
Michelle, Manitoba's a little long. How about maybe just a bit shorter, make it easier? How about Toba?
Do people really call Manitoba Toba?
We really do.
What? Awesome. Toba. You guys in Manitoba, you probably knew that. And good call. It's going to make my coding a whole lot easier. All right, I'm going to code the word Toba. You students out there, you animate whatever name, whatever objects you want to. Tooglers as well. You guys animate what you want to. We're going to dive in. We're going to get coding. Here we go. So teachers, again, if you need to pause right here, here's those instructions for you. We'll be here when you get back. Those that are ready to go, let's do this. So we first know that we need to continue without signing in. The first letter that this project gives me is a letter A. Well, there's no letter A in Toba, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this letter. If you want to keep the A, you go right ahead. I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to show you how we add more letters, or any shapes for that matter. So take a look in kind of near the bottom right corner. You're going to see that kitty cat. That's where we are going to choose new sprites. So I go in there. I'm going to choose a new sprite. And you may even see over on the right-hand side, do you see that there is the letters on the right side? Oh my goodness. I love that Brooklyn has corrected me. Well, yeah, there is an A in Toba. It's at the end. Of course. I could have left my A. Thank you for that, Brooklyn. But that's okay. Oh, Izzy reminded me that too. Thank you, guys. Okay, we can click where it says letters, and we could go back and find our letter A. Or we can also just type in the word letters just in our search box. Either way works. There's my letter A. But guess what? We scroll down. Oh, there's different styles of letters. All right, so we want to do Toba. I'm going to pick a letter T from these orange ones. So there's my first sprite. Now I have to grab the rest of my sprites. So we're going to go back to that kitty cat again. We are going to search letters again or click on that menu. So got my T. And I think I'll put the O in this color, the glow O. Awesome. I got my T, I got my O. Going to go back to my sprite library. I'm going to get my letter B. And don't worry if they're in the wrong spot right now. We're going to move those guys around. So T, O, B, we may as well go with this little guy. Why not? And the last letter, we're going to do a letter A. I like those glow ones again. I'm going to pick that glow A. So you need to get the letters that are in whatever name you are going to animate. And if you want to animate an object as well from the sprite library, you go right ahead and choose an object. Once you have all of your sprites out there, we are going to just grab them and drag them so that they are in the proper order. T, O, B, A. And then I'm ready to start coding. With that, students, if you can manage the form and your coding tab at the same time, let me know in the form, what name are you coding? So let us know in the form. I got to check in with my Tooglers just to make sure that they're all good. I'm going to maybe I'll pick on Fabrizio first. Fabrizio, what name are you coding?
It's a secret. I'm not done yet. I'm building something. I'm not there yet, but you're going to see if it works. It's something special.
I love it. Okay, perfect. So students, you'll want to stick around. We'll see what Fabrizio's come up with. Laura, Seth, we'll see what you guys have come up with. We've got some questions coming your way in a bit, but let's go back to coding. And students, let us know if you are coding anything different. Aubrey is coding apple. Miss Lefebvre is coding Stormy, and Lily's doing their name. Ivy's also doing their name. Taja's doing their name. Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to keep coding, and I'm going to be giving you some more questions coming up. All right, so that one of the first videos inside CS First that I watched, I'm just going to zip back over here just to show you again, is how to change the color. So when I went into this video, I was able to watch Olga. She was awesome. She told me all sorts of cool stuff. But then Olga, at the very end, gives me the exact blocks that I used to code. How much easier can it get? So I'm going to go back to my code. I remember what Olga said. First thing she said is I need I need an event trigger. So I grab that event trigger and I say when the flag is clicked, or maybe when the sprite is clicked, I'm going to go when the sprite is clicked, then we want to change the color. So I just want to make a note. Students, which sprite am I clicked on? Am I on the letter T? Oh, I'm not. I am currently coding the letter A. So just take a look, see what letter are you coding, and drag those blocks out. It's okay that I'm coding the last letter first. That's the way we roll around here. So I'm on the letter A. When this sprite is clicked, Olga told me to go into the looks block, and it told me to change color effect. There it is down a little bit lower. Change color effect by 20. Let's check it out. When I click my letter A, look at that. So it moves a little bit slow. There it is. The more I click it, the more it changes. Well, that's kind of fun. Well, that's my letter A. Let's jump in and we're going to code that letter B. Same thing. Do you notice? Oh, wait a second. When I click on the letter up here, it doesn't switch the sprite for me. I have to go down to my sprite library, click on that letter B. Now I see that letter B in the top right corner. That's how I know that I'm on the B sprite. Okay, we're going to get this a little bit more tricky. We're going to change the size of this. And so that was by watching that make it grow and shrink video. We're going to make our letter B grow and shrink when we click on it. So, event trigger. When we click on a sprite, we want to change the size. Whoops, that size is too big. We want to go into, in this case, it's back in our looks blocks, change size by 10. Change size by 10, so that's going to make it go bigger. And then if I change size by -10, I can make that go smaller. So let's see what happens. When I click this, letter B, it should go bigger and smaller. Wait, it's not working. The one thing about coding is it does things so quickly, you don't even see them. So in this case, it's getting bigger, but then it's getting smaller right away, so we don't even see it happening. But what we can do, we can add some repeat blocks in here to make it go bigger, 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 and then smaller, 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 smaller. Oh, so that's where we go into our darker orange control blocks. We're going to find repeat. I'm going to drag that over. Now we're going to tuck that just in there, but I don't want both of them inside my repeat. I only want the change by 10. So I got to grab this guy out of here. He just snaps back in there. He's like, let me be in the code. So we've got this first size repeating. And now let's grab another repeat and change size by -10. Now let's see what happens. I click on the B. Oh dear. There it is. Awesome. So now it repeats getting bigger, 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 and then repeats getting smaller, smaller, smaller. Click that again. And there it goes. Nice. Perfect. So students, hopefully you have been able to make one letter change colors and make one letter grow and shrink if you click on them. Let's see what our students are doing. Beckham is doing the hockey team, the Titans. And oh, yay, Cameron is doing Toba as well. Lots of you students are doing your name. Venice, Casey, Emily, Katiana, Lydia, Avery, Alex did not his name. Conway's got their name. Georgie. Oh, so good, you guys. Okay, so students, we're going to check in with our computer software engineers. And we've got some questions about this coding we just did. Let's go with you, Laura. We've got like these numbers. We've got like big numbers going up and then negative numbers. And do you use those kinds of numbers in your coding?
Yeah, so I work on a backend server. So it's basically kind of the brains behind the operation. And so something that'd be kind of similar of scaling on size is if you're thinking about, let's say, people playing a video game. If you have, 10 people playing on that video game, the server is able to, serve their traffic and it's fine. But if all of a sudden, let's say, a big announcement goes up and now it goes from 10 people to 1 million people all of a sudden want to play that same video game, that same server isn't going to be able to serve all of those people trying to play the video game. Then it's going to get laggy and slow. And so what someone like we do is we set it up so that it will automatically scale itself to be able to serve those million people. So we can either manually do it, but we set it up so it automatically does it. So if it happens like the middle of the night, we don't have to wake up and fix it. It does it itself.
Very cool. All right. So even though the coding we're doing, it's fairly basic level, the concepts are very similar when you're working with servers as well. That's cool. Let's jump in with you right now too, Seth. I think we've got some repeat blocks in here, some loops. Is this something you might use in your everyday coding?
This is probably one of the most fundamentally important pieces of computer programming that we use all the time. And it comes up in games very frequently too. All games work off of an event loop. It runs about 60 times a second and changes all the pictures to make it look like the game is actually working. This is how everyone does it.
Aha. Oh, the magic revealed, but it's loops. That's awesome. Love it. All right. Well, we're going to go back. We've got about 5 minutes of coding left. That's it. But Tooglers, you guys finish up your projects. We'll check in with you in a minute. Students out there, we've got 4 minutes. I want to show you how we can do some copying and pasting so that we make our code, make it easier to code our other sprites all in 1 or 2 clicks, I guess. So let's go with back to letter A. So I click back on my sprite. Let's say I want my O to also change color. Now, this is pretty easy code. I could probably just redo it right from the beginning, but once you get into more complicated code, if we can just copy it over to our other sprites, boom, our work is so easy. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to copy your code between sprites. Way number 1, and this is where you got to be looking up at the screen at the front to see this. I'm going to drag this. So this is from my A. I want it to go over my O. You see what happens when I drag it? They all turn blue. But this is hard. Oh, you may not have even seen it. What happens is those letters will jiggle. Do you see them jiggling? As soon as the letter jiggles, if I let go, now when I come over to O, ta-da, my code is there for me. So it's a drag, a jiggle, but sometimes that's a little bit hard to do. If you're on an iPad, that drag and drop is a little bit easier. Sometimes tougher with a mouse or a trackpad. So here's way number 2. So I'm actually just going to let's go over. We're going to copy and paste my code from the letter B over to my letter T. So this is a bit longer code. So copy and paste to be helpful. But like I said, I could just drag and get it to wiggle. Or if I right click on this, wait a second. It does give me a duplicate, but that's no good. It just duplicates it in the same sprite. So that's not very helpful. But what is in here that you can't really see is if I click on my whole group of code, the whole group of blocks, if I press Control C, so Control C for copy, and then if I go over to my T, where I want to paste this, the paste command is Control V. I have no idea why Control V is the shortcut for paste, but it's a very good shortcut. That's how I remember it. And then that lets me paste. And now, ta-da, when I click on my T, it does what it's supposed to. When I click on my O, it changes colors. I click on my B, then I click on my A. Wait a second, I have 1 more minute. I want to go back to those loops. Seth told me that loops are the most important thing. Maybe I can make my change colors do some repeating as well. Let me go back here. I'm in my control blocks. I'm going to click repeat. Oh, if I repeat this 10 times, this should change colors 10 times. Let's see. If I click on that, oh, look at that. It's so fast. But it did it. Maybe I can slow that down a little. Maybe it's also in my, I've got a wait block. Let's see what happens. If I put wait, I don't want to wait a whole full second. Let's wait a half second. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh, I got it looping. I got it changing colors. Maybe I could even loop it forever and ever, not just 10 times. That's okay, though. I'm happy with that the way it is. We are out of time for coding, but we're going to be getting to all of your questions very soon. But before we get to the questions, we get to see what Fabrizio, Laura, and Seth were able to do. Students, let us know in the form. What did you do with your name? Did you make it grow and shrink? Did you change the colors? Did you add some music? Let us know what you did. Zach, could you animate a dancing SpongeBob? Quite likely you could. And who knows? Maybe that's what Fabrizio did. We'll see. All right. Well, I think we are going to start. I think we're going to start with you, Fabrizio. I'm excited. But you go ahead and share your screen and show us what you came up with.
It's still a work in progress. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
So the beauty of coding is it's still a work in progress. You can always improve what you do. So I've been playing around with the new things. We'll see how it ends up. Can you see me? There is a lag on my end. Can you see me correctly?
We see you. Yes, we do not yet see your screen.
Okay, because I see myself like lagging. So okay, so hopefully the most important is you. Okay. So
sounds okay.
Okay, so please don't judge me. That's what. So
did you share your screen yet, Fabrizio?
I am right now.
Oh, you're doing it right now. Sorry. Oh,
yes.
You're leading up to the big reveal. All right, here we go. Yes, now we see it. Oh dear.
So I chose Harry style. I play with that. It's not really complex because the time to find a few things. But what I did is, I don't know if you want to hear some music. So the Harry style is moving, is changing, is supporting the counter, is changing move. So it's a big concert, and you're lucky because you have 3 Harry styles for the price of 1. So there's 2 support act on the side and 1 in the middle, just moving all around. So this is this music, of course. I tried to. I didn't have the time to find an Harry Styles song because we can do that. You can also include a music, but I didn't have the time. And I think the next step would be to include, instead of this drum funky, I would have added Harry Styles song, and I would have like an animated concert, a private concert for the people attending this training today. That would be amazing. But yes. That's what I
love that. Great job. While you're here, Fabrizio, can you go into your sounds menu and show the students how you were able to choose those different sounds?
So I went here, I think in sound. Yes, exactly. I went here.
There it is. Perfect.
This is the sound. So I chose a loop for, in this case, when I choose a sound, instead of just using one sound like this one, a unique sound, I use the loop to make it a bit longer. And I think the drum funky is here. And then you can like faster. And as soon as you do that, the beauty is, I realized, and it's really important, that was my first mistake. You need first to select the sound, and then here in the drop down, you can find it. If you don't do that, it's empty. That's what I had in the beginning. So I realized first choose a sound, and then it appears here. That's a very important thing you need to know if you want to play another sounds.
And that's so cool. And in fact, in the grow and shrink video in CS First, Olga does show us how to put in sounds as well. So Fabrizio, that's great. You were able to show our students that today. Fabulous. Okay, let's see who's next. I believe it's you, Laura. What do you have going on over there?
Let's see if I can get this. Okay, so I decided to tell a bit of a story. So I decided to animate my name, and you can see. So just a silly little story about, a witch coming and banishing the name through her magic cauldron to the Arctic with this very friendly penguin. So I had a lot of fun. I can just quickly show. I guess that's pretty small, but it was a lot. My favorite feature of Scratch is this broadcast. So, for example, the penguin broadcasts the word welcome. So it says welcome, and then it says broadcast welcome. So then what my letters all did is they said, they have lots going on, but when I receive welcome, you can see it here, then they kind of move their letters back and forth. And so I use those broadcasts to make all of my different pieces basically be able to talk to each other, is using these broadcast blocks.
Very, very cool. And you use some speech blocks as well. So that's one of the videos in CS First, making it say something. You added backdrops. That's also in there as well. Love, love, love it. So many possibilities. Well, Seth, what did you get up to? While you're loading your screen, Seth, we'll let you know what some of the students did. Charles did a controllable duck. Colleen was able to change the name color. Taija made it change bigger and change the color. Oh, look you've got lots of people saying that was really cool, Laura. So good on you. All right. Okay, Seth, what do you got?
So I decided to animate my name underwater, and I decided to use the mouse to control what will happen. So basically, when I hit the space bar to start this, you'll notice my name starts going in a figure 8. And that there's also random fish that will appear on the screen too. If I move the mouse up, the letters get bigger and change color. If I move it to the right, it increases the size of the figure 8 that is happening. And if I happen to hit one of the fish, it gets scared and runs away. So that's what I did.
Oh, I love it. You've got to give us a sneak peek at this code. This is so cool. And the ocean sounds. Where'd you get the ocean sounds from?
That was, again, a sound. So that's just right here. Start sound, ocean wave. And this is just in a forever loop, repeating every 5 seconds. And then basically the fish just clones itself and starts moving based on how I told it to move.
Okay, I love it. Lots of inspiration for you students out there. Jackson in grade 5 wants a shout out. I'd love to know what you coded, Jackson. With that, we need to show you how to save. You know what? Let me see if I've got your screens up. That's okay. So students, if you want to save your work, you will see in the File menu inside Scratch for CS First, File, Save to my computer. It's as easy as that. Then you'll be able to load that up again later once you log into CS First. So that makes it nice and easy. We are on to the Q&A. We have a lot of questions in that form. I do believe, Laura, you're going to moderate that for us. So what kind of questions do we have out there?
Yeah, let's do it. So the first one is from Alexander, and I'm going to give it to Fabrizio. And it is, what is it like being a Toogler?
It's really fantastic. I can try everything. It's in big companies, usually you need to follow the rules. Here, most of the time, if the rules do not exist, just create your own. There is no one is going to tell you no. And if someone's tell you no, go to not to another door. You can try everything. We're still like a new and a young companies. You've seen before. I've been working with Microsoft and AWS and Amazon. Microsoft exists since 40 years. So now we still have the ability to do most of the time a lot of things. If you have an idea, just bring the idea. Well, there is always someone at Google is going to listen to your idea and okay, you know what? Try. I'm going to give you the tools. If it fails, it's not okay. It's okay. You can try. So I really like it. It's you can try almost everything you want.
Awesome. I totally agree. I love being a Toogler. Okay, this one from Jacob, and I'm going to give it to Seth, and it is, how old were you when you first started coding?
I was accidentally 4 years old when I first started coding. That is a very rare event. My father wanted to keep me off the computer, and that's the best way for me to get on a computer when he wasn't here and at work. So that's what I did.
Very impressive. Very young. For contrast, I did not start coding until I was 18, and I'm only 24. So I've only been coding for about 6 years, and I've been working here for 2. So it's definitely never too late. And people much older than me have started coding too. So the next question is, let's go from Robert. What's your favorite subject? So I'll answer this one. My favorite subject in school was always math. There's something about it. I just love it. I love the logic, numbers. And so when I got older, I started being able to take physics classes as well. So basically like applied math. And so I really enjoyed that as well. But honestly, like, I don't know about the other 2 years, but I just love learning. So I just like school. I like learning all my courses, but math is definitely always my favorite. Let's go to Seth from Venice. What is your favorite thing about coding?
Honestly, that the computer listens to me and does what I tell it to, which is honestly a bad thing sometimes because I sometimes tell it to do the wrong thing. And as we can see, bugs happen. But when I tell my cat to go do things, it just stares at me and looks at me like I'm crazy. So computers actually listen. It's very nice.
Awesome. And a similar vein from Al, I'll give it to Fabrizio. What is your favorite part of your job? Kind of similar to your last question, but maybe your job more specifically than being a tutor.
Explaining things here, but also I'm responsible with one of the partnership with Google, and I like to share my enthusiasm and explain to those people how to work, what to do, and guide them. So I really like explaining things. So that's that's the thing that I need. Whatever I do, I can go into details in what I do, but it doesn't matter what I can do. I can sell things, I can build things, I can promote anything, but explaining things and share my knowledge, it's one of the favorite things I like in my job.
Awesome. So there's kind of a couple in a similar vein, and it's about basically how much time do you spend working or coding a day. So I'll answer this one. So we work about 8-hour days, but I definitely do not sit and code for 8 hours straight. I don't think anyone can do that. So it really depends. The work we do in software engineering is very project based. So sometimes I'm in the early stages of a project, and so I'm more designing or reading, researching, that kind of stuff. So I can go days without coding. But then other times when I'm kind of in the implementation phase of my project, so I've designed and decided what I'm going to do, now I just got to actually do it, then I can spend all day coding. And it's not like I'm just sitting here coding by myself. I'm talking to my coworkers. If I get stuck, I ask them for help. Anytime I'm writing code, I need them to check it before I can send it out into the world. So yeah, maybe a few hours each day coding, but it really depends kind of on what aspect of the project you're in. Next one, I'll give this to Seth. It says, what jobs did you do before you wanted to code? Or maybe were there any other jobs you worked before or any other careers you considered?
Honestly, since I always wanted to code, I did that. Now, that being said, I did other jobs too. Like there's money to be made in other places. I remember working at a car wash over the summer, and that was actually quite enjoyable because I didn't have to think at all. And it gave me a nice break from the coding that I did after that job during the nighttime. So that was nice.
Awesome. We have okay, I can answer this one. So it's what's the best, and there's a couple kind of similar vein. What's the best part of teaching kids about coding or teaching coding? And I would say I think there's a couple different ones. One of them for sure is that, like I said, I didn't start coding until I was 18. I honestly didn't even know what coding was. I kind of had some video games, but I didn't totally put 2 and 2 together. And so just to think about that opportunity for you students that you're able to see that, like, learn about coding and start it at such a young age is really cool. And it's really exciting to kind of see what I'll do with that. And then I also kind of like Fabrizio saying, I just love teaching. I just think it's a really great way. It's very fulfilling to kind of give back everything that we've learned and spend all our days doing, and kind of be able to help out people with that. And looks like we're out of time for the Q&A.
I think we're out of time for the Q&A, and we're almost out of time for this workshop. But have no fear, students. There's lots more opportunities to code that I'm going to tell you about in just a second. But we need to, first of all, give a round of applause to Fabrizio, Laura, and Seth for being here to coding alongside us. A round of applause to all of you out there as well. But we always like to end things off with a word of wisdom or piece of advice from our Tooglers. So why don't we start with you, Fabrizio? What would be your final word?
Choose a job that's going to make you happy and enjoy everything you do. I think when you spend a lot of time in your work, and probably more than with your friends or your family, enjoy every minute of it and do not hesitate to find something that really makes you happy. We just have one life, so enjoy it.
Love that. Great final word. Seth, what about you? What would your final word be for these students?
I think for me, it's just, especially with computers, but it's true of all things in life, be willing to make mistakes. It's something a lot of people will tell you. It's really, really true, because not trying at all will be probably the greatest mistake in a lot of cases.
Yeah, so true. Right. And Laura from Winnipeg, any final words?
Yeah, I would say just always just kind of keep an open mind and be open to being like a lifelong learner. Like, we're all in our careers. We're not technically in school anymore, but we still learn every single day. So always keep that open mind, never think something isn't for you. Just give it a try and see what happens.
Love that. And I wonder, students out there, if this was brand new for you too, and you tried it, hopefully it went well for you. Well, thank you all. Before we let everyone go, though, students, do you want to do more coding in your classes? Do you want to code alongside these guys? And I think there's about 25 other Tooglers that get to work with us coding. Your teachers received an email with all sorts of ideas, but let me tell the students what they get, so that way you can remind them to check it out. So your teachers received a teacher's guide where they can get you set up inside CS First, where you'll see all of those videos. It saves automatically. Your teacher can see your projects and show them to all of the rest of your classmates. Oh, wait. Is coding only for Coding Club? Guess what? CS First has been aligned to the provincial curriculums, all of those that you see on the screen, but take note for Manitoba. So you can be coding in math and language arts and science, and it fulfills technology expectations, students. Your teacher can do coding in almost all of your classes. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, well, teachers, you received information about our coding across the curriculum with CS First. We are with Tooglers pretty much every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, so that's noon your time. If you can't get there live, the recordings are always there. It comes with additional resources, coding activities, all of this free, thanks to Google Canada and to this woman, Sandy Curry, and STEM Program Outreach. We are so thrilled to be able to work alongside Google, and we thank you all for joining us. We thank you, Tooglers, for joining us. And as Sandy always leaves things, she always says, happy coding, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.